Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across this channel, my name is Nene and thank you so much for stopping by. God bless you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really appreciate it so much. Thank you. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching us how to make a shift dress. This tutorial is going to be easy and simple once you follow my steps. So these are the materials we'll be using as shown on the screen. I would be using this 2.5 Ankara fabric to make this dress. So the first thing we're going to be doing is to determine how long we want this dress to be. You can make it short, you can make it long, you can make it any length you want. For the purpose of this video, I'll be using 33 inches as the length. But I would add an extra inch, making 34 inches. That extra inch is going to serve as sewing allowance to hem the bottom of the dress. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to mark our shoulder on the top part of the fabric. Go ahead and mark your shoulder measurement on the top part of your fabric. In order to get your shoulder measurement, you're going to do your shoulder measurement divided by 2. After doing your shoulder measurement, the next thing we're going to be doing is to determine how long we want the sleeves to be. The reason why we want to determine how long we want the sleeves to be is because the gown we are making is cut together with the sleeves. After making the points for my shoulder, I went under it to mark the length I want for my sleeves. So the length I would be going for is 10 inches with an additional 2 inches for hemming the bottom of the sleeves. So this is just me showing you guys the points I made, starting from the shoulder to the sleeves and the additional 2 inches. The next thing we're going to be doing is to make a line down after where we made points for the sleeves. So this is just me showing us the line I drew because the chalk I used was not so clear or not so sharp enough to see. So this is just me making the line again in order for me to see it very well. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to make a straight line at the bottom of where we have where we took the length of the dress or the gown. So this is just me trying to make sure that my line is straight and I can see it, and also showing you guys how it should look like. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is to be taking points for our bust point, for our waistline and also our hip line. From the top of the fabric, go ahead and mark your bust point. My bust point is 9.5, so I marked down 9.5. Go ahead and mark your waistline. My waistline is 15.5, so I marked down 15.5. And for my hip line is 24, so I marked down 24. So this is just me showing you guys the points I marked for my bust point, my waistline, and my hip line. After marking the points, go ahead and draw a straight line. Draw a straight line on your bust point, draw a straight line on your waistline, and also draw a straight line on your hip line. So this is me drawing a straight line on my bust point. And this is me drawing a straight line on my waistline. And this is me drawing a straight line on my hip line. So right now guys, I'm just showing you guys the line I drew on my bust point and also my waistline and also my hip line. So right now I'm just drawing the straight line I drew on my hip line because I felt that it wasn't straight enough, so I'm doing that again. So this is just me showing you guys the line I made at the length of the dress. So now guys, we have 4 lines that we've made so far. That is the bust point, the waistline, the hip line, and also the length of the dress. So the next thing to do now is to take our body measurements on the lines we've made. Right now, measure your bust. Whatever you get, mark that down on the bust point and add extra 3 inches for ease because this gown is not going to require a zip. Moving on to the waistline, measure your waist and mark that down on the waistline and add extra 3 inches for ease. And on the hip line, measure your hip and mark that down on the hip line and add extra 3 inches for ease. And please guys, do not forget these 3 inches I keep asking us to add on the bust point area, on the waistline area, and also on the hip line area. And as for the line where the length of the dress is, go ahead and repeat the measurement you took on the hip line, on also the line where the length of the dress is. So I'm just showing you guys the points I've made from the line where the length of the dress is to the hip point, to the hip line, sorry, to the waistline, and also the bust point. So what we're going to be doing now is to join the points together from the bust point to the waistline to the hip line down to where the line of the length of the dress is. So this is just me making the lines more sharper in order for me to see it well while cutting. And this is just me showing you guys how connected the points should look like. So guys, make sure that you curve the armhole area. You should make that part curvy. So this is just me showing you guys how curvy it should be. So right now we're moving on to the neckline. So I marked 5 inches down and 3.5 inches in. So after marking 5 inches down and 3.5 inches in, I went ahead to connect these points together. After connecting the points you marked for the neckline, go ahead and cut it. And also go ahead to cut out the front piece of this dress. After cutting out the front piece, place the front piece on another folded fabric which will serve as the back piece of this dress. So this is just me showing you guys how the cut together sleeves should look like. So guys, carefully place the front piece of the dress on top of the folded fabric which would be used for the back piece of the dress. The only difference between the front piece and the back piece of this dress is the neckline. So at the neckline of the back piece, come down by 1 inch and connect it to the neckline of the front piece, just as I am doing here. After connecting the neckline of the back piece to the neckline of the front piece, go ahead and cut it. After doing that, go ahead and cut out your back piece. By doing that, you're going to be tracing what you have on your front piece on also your back piece. Don't forget I said the only difference between the front piece and the back piece is the neckline. So after cutting out your front piece and your back piece, this is what yours should be looking like. So now go ahead and turn the neckline of the front piece and the back piece with a bias. And also go ahead to hem the bottom of the sleeves. After doing that, this is how the neckline should be looking like after turning it with a bias. And this is how the bottom of the sleeves should be looking like after hemming it. The next thing to do now is to hem the bottom of the dress. After hemming the bottom of the dress, this is how it should be looking like. Guys, whatever you do on the front piece, also repeat the same thing on the back piece. The next thing for us to do now is to join the shoulders together. Place the right part of the front piece and the right part of the back piece together. Please guys, make sure that when you're placing the right part of the front piece and the right part of the back piece, please make sure you're placing it well. Go ahead to your sewing machine and join the shoulders by 1/2 inch. After joining the shoulders by 1/2 inch, this is what it should be looking like. The next thing to do is to close the both sides of the dress. So go to your sewing machine and close the sides by 1/2 inch. After closing the sides of my dress by 1/2 inch, I turned my dress to the right side, and this is what I have. And this is what yours should be looking like too. You can decide to stop here if this is how you want your dress to look like. But for this dress, I would be adding front pockets to it, one on the left side and one on the right side. So in order for me to get the type of pocket I am aiming for, I went ahead to cut out this square shape from the excess fabric I had left. So I cut out one for the right pocket and one for the left pocket. After cutting it out, this is what it looks like. So go ahead and fold the top of the square like this. While the remaining 3 parts of the square should be folded smaller than the top of the square. So go ahead to your machine and sew these sides, starting from the top of the square to the other 3 sides of the square. After sewing the sides of the square, place them on each side of the dress and pin it down. But do not pin the top of the square, because that is where our pocket is and that is where we are going to fit things inside. Guys, when I was trying to pin the square to my dress, it was a little bit difficult for me to do because I was trying to do it well and I did not want it to shake while I was pinning it down. Make sure that you close the mouths of the 3 sides while pinning it down. So right now, I'm just showing you guys the 3 parts you will be sewing and you are not going to touch the top part at all. So guys, this is how you should sew your pockets to your dress. Just watch and follow what I am doing here in order for you to sew your pockets to your dress. So guys, after sewing your pockets to your dress, this is what it should be looking like. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial and I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell so you would be the first to know when I drop a new video. See you guys in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.